Welcome to Monroe, Louisiana, Malone Stadium, home to the ULM Warhawks, and fans have been getting ready for this one pretty much all week. Today, a couple of Sun Belt rivals ready to square off. As we'll see, the Mississippi State Bulldogs taking on the UL Monroe Warhawks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. And the Warhawks will get this season underway as toe meets leather. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Bulldogs offense will go on the attack first. You know, that connection between quarterback and wide receiver, Jesse, takes some time, and we'll see how quickly these two guys get on the same page.
Yeah, the chemistry between he and the quarterback, I think, is what everybody's going to be looking for early in this game. Because David, obviously, having transferred in, he hasn't had a lot of time in this offense. This is his first game. It's the first time doing it with bullets flying live. So he's got a lot of talent. He's got speed. But what does that chemistry look like with the guy throwing him the football? That's what I want to see.
Well, and the good thing is you've got tape and you've seen he's done it at the college level. Like, you already know what he is. Now it's about taking that, using his strengths. How do you use him in this offense early on in the season to really take advantage of his talents?
Looking downfield, it's Croman Hope. Fires to the middle. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. They kick it away on fourth down. Makes the catch at the 35. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. So Louisiana Monroe's offense will go to work for the first time today. And here it comes for the first time as a starter, this talented freshman. And Jesse, it seems like quarterbacks mature quicker and quicker these days, and they're ready to grab the reins.
Yeah, you're seeing it more and more. There's more high school quarterbacks now ready to take the next step and compete and perform in college football. But listen, I started as a true freshman back at Florida. I guarantee you he has so much nervous energy going right now because he has never played.
Oh, he's got some space. All right, guys, let's take a minute and talk about the Warhawks. By no means was it a transfer portal exodus. The number of guys they lost among the fewest in the country, but you do wonder if things have just become really transactional in the sport right now.
Well, this is a team that had a lot of success last year, and a lot of their key players want to build off of that. So to me, not a big surprise that these guys have decided to stick around.
Yeah. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
And all defenses talk about it. Sacks, tackles for a loss, affecting the quarterback the best way you can. The first drive of the game, already getting home. Nice start for this defense.
The Warhawks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Back to pass. With the catch, it's Beebe. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now facing a third and long. Back to throw, it's Cummings. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a third down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
And the Warhawks will try to pin them back with the punt. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. He'll make the fair catch at the 13, and they will have less than favorable field position here. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. Mississippi State right back to the line. Let's take just a minute and talk about Mississippi State. One of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat, and the process of cooling things off starts now.
All offseason, this coach has said the right things. I'm not worried about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm just worried about our team. But, David, let's be real. He's got to win games. There is an expectation at this program to win, and if he doesn't start fast this year, that hot seat's only going to get hot.
No, and then the chirping starts, and everybody's going to be talking about his job, and the pressure builds, and then what happens? Sometimes you lose the locker room, so important to get off to a good start, try to quiet some of those haters and some of those doubters.
Here's a quick throw out to the left. Quick throw, but he's not going anywhere. The defense was all over him.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
Complete in the middle. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. The give to the running back from the shotgun. They'll pick up 5. It'll be 3rd and 5. Trying to pick up a first down. Trying play action. Unloads to the right. He's got it. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, 3rd down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win, and gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
Looking to throw, it's Croman Hope. Release to the back. It's caught. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. If you're able to move the ball in a drive like that, the most overrated stat in football would be field position.
Agreed, and I think confidence is big right now after that last drive. To be able to flip the field like that, not just do it, but go down and score a touchdown. Running and throwing for this offense now moving forward in this game. That last drive is going to pay big dividends.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Hey, guys, got a final score in a big top 25 matchup today. Navy was anything but dominant today, but the midshipmen are going to leave this stadium today winners. A lot to work on, no question, but they avoid one in the L column. Really unexpected outcome in this ranked-on-ranked matchup. The type of loss, guys, that'll get the attention of even a good football team.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. He'll pull it on the read. Nice move to pick up yardage.
Nice job by this defense, stringing along the option, not letting him make a decision right away, and that's why they could corral to the football, get him on the ground, and make sure that option didn't get a big gain.
And they'll miss the connection here on 3rd down. The Warhawks will punt it away on 4th down. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. Pulls and fires complete. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly.
Nice job by this defense creating that negative play. That's what all defenses want to do. But look at this. This offense, they ain't scared. Right back on the ball, ready to run another play, ready to make this defense work.
Mississippi State going up tempo. Dropping back, it's Croman Hope. The receiver was doubled, and they picked it off. He'll go down right there, but what a big play to come up with that turnover.
What a big game-changing play. I love when you see defensive players, they jump on the ball like they were the offensive guy. So aggressive, going and getting that pick, creating some big mojo for your team.
UL Monroe has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Kept it on the ground on 1st down. Now back to the line. He'll do it himself. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. And the Warhawks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to get it through the air. It's complete to the left. He did not make it a stone wall on 3rd down. It's wise not to be too greedy, and they'll go ahead and send out the field goal unit. Never a doubt. That'll bring him to within 4.
And that's a really good response by this defense. Their offense throws an interception, puts them in bad field position. They respond with a stop, force a field goal. Yeah, they got 3 points, but great job by this defense.
Looking for those open spaces and opportunity. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Off the play fake on 1st down. Got his man downfield. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. Reads it, fires complete. He gets it out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46. He'll keep it himself. Got the 1st down and more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Mississippi State comes out after picking up the 1st down. Red pass, it's complete. Carrying the ball with an edge and the 40. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Wide receiver comes in motion. To the air, it's Croman Hope. Trying to get behind the defense. He makes a grab. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
Yeah, and now this offense building that lead. It's still the 1st half, but I tell you what, shown some glimpses of why they could become a really, really good offense. Listen, you go into halftime, more of the same, right? Continue to do what you're doing, take care of the football. This offense has looked really good in the 1st half.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-3. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The give to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Throws to the tight end. A strike downfield. Oh, it's loose. And the ball will bounce out of bounds on the fumble. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. The pull and throw off the RPO. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Leaves it with the running back. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43. As we head to the quarter break, Mississippi State has the lead. They wanted to strike first and strike hard, and they've been able to do that here in the first quarter as we take a look at the stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. They'll try to bully their way for the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. This offense has had trouble getting it in gear, but maybe a little life here on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Cummings. Got a man, it's Ware. And they knock him down. There was nowhere to go. Defense is swarming. So now it's 2nd and long. The inside handoff. Got the first down and still on his feet. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. The Warhawks back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Got a little work done on 1st down. Now back to the line. Back in motion. Try to clear the picture. To the air on 2nd down. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. Kick is in the air. That one's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be dead at the 35-yard line. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. Snagged out of the air.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
He goes down at the 47 after a 5-yard pickup. Mississippi State right back to the line.
And the defense gives up the first down. And here they go. They're going fast. No time to substitute. Got to communicate quickly and get back on the line of scrimmage.
Off-play action on 1st down. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
Yeah, that's a great job. And listen, this quarterback's had success. He's already thrown for 2 touchdowns. We got to make him feel uncomfortable. This is still early in the game. Nice job by the defense, getting a hit on the quarterback and making him think a little bit.
The Bulldogs have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Looking for a man. It's Croman Hope. The quick out. Ridden out of bounds at the 45. A big play for this offense. And the Bulldogs are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll run the option. Fights off a defender. He didn't even have a chance to get back to the line. What a job by this defensive front. So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. And the punt will hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. They'll start this drive going to the air. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. Grab behind the line. It's Etienne. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. And the Warhawks are way behind the sticks on this 3rd and forever. From the gun, wants to pass. Pressure coming. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
Boy, this defense is ridiculous. On point. They know how to rush the passers. Multiple guys getting it done. 5 sacks, and we are still in the first half.
The Warhawks line up to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He just wanted to get it out of there from his end zone. He'll make the fair catch at the 44, and they'll have terrific field position. So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. Dropping back, it's Croman Hope. Looking down the middle. Finds a tight end. And a big gain there. He's knocked down immediately at the 45.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
He's down to the 37-yard line, and that's where he goes out of bounds. Guys, let's talk a little bit about Mississippi State. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry-pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just addresses everything you need.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
Off the bootleg to buy a little space. And the pass falls harmlessly to the ground. We'll see if the laundry is as harmless. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Motion from the back. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Returns it inside the 30 to the 29, and after the interception, they'll try to cash it in with a score.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
He wants to start this drive with a pass. Got it behind the line. It's Etienne. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The give to the tailback. There he goes. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line. And the Warhawks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Quarterback on the keeper. Turns it on at midfield. He's got first down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49. The Warhawks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Pocket breaking down. He'll try to do it himself. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. Trying to surprise him with the pass. Quickly complete. And the runner is down, and so is a flag. They'll back him up with a holding penalty this time. They've spent most of the day backing them up with sacks anyway. Back to throw, it's Cummings. It's complete on the right side. Snowed under by the defense. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that third down play. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. And the big deflection on third down forces a fourth down. And the Warhawks decide to punt it away. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Pulls it, fired complete. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Offense gets set for second down. He'll pull it on the read. Got to be smart, patient, great vision. Uses all of that to get to the 29. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. A quick completion to the left, looking for the first down. He'll make a play on third down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32. Unloads quickly. No chance to run, but still a solid pickup on that one. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. The Bulldogs in a good spot here with second and short. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. It's complete to the right. Tackled at the 45 after a 5-yard pickup. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. From the gun, the running back has it. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Looking downfield, it's Croman Hope. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys in a coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, you've had yourselves one great broadcast so far today there in Monroe. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed. He simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. And just like that, let's head back to our team inside Malone Stadium.
Mississippi State has it teed up, ready to go here in the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Followed that blocking and got 5 out to the 26. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Wants to go up top. Here comes the heat. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
In the second half, trailing the way they are, they know they're going to have to be able to throw the football to get back into it, but you can't accomplish that if you can't keep your quarterback standing upright. Give the defense tons of credit getting that sack on third down.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. From the gun, running back on the move. And the defense is swarming to keep him from getting to the first down. The Warhawks will line up to punt it away. They're up to a half-dozen kicks today. Catches it at the 30. He's got great speed. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. Dropping back, it's Croman Hope. Finds his man. Stopped just across the 50 at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a first down.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead, they know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
And the offense with a nice run, breaks off a little bit of run, gets a first down. Oh, and here they go again. First down, you've seen this. They like to go fast.
He'll do it himself. And the ball's on the ground. And he was able to get back on top of his own fumble. Mississippi State going up-tempo. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. And he's brought down after a nice gain. They've moved to the 16. It's 1st and 10.
And that's good enough for a first down.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Grabbed behind the line, it's Hatcher. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Puts it out of the air. And they'll stop him inside the 5, but the defense is backed up in the shadow of its own goalpost. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now on 1st and goal, let's see what Mississippi State does. They'll try to get it in with the run. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. He'll keep it himself. He just kept those big, powerful thighs churning, but he'll be knocked down at the 1. And after getting it right on the edge, they'll try to punch it in. Sneaks it into the end zone.
And that's what makes this quarterback so dangerous, fellas. He can hurt you throwing the ball, but man, is he ever dangerous and explosive with his feet. You have got to be able to get this guy on the ground. If you don't, he has got way too much wiggle and speed. You saw it right there.
PAT unit on the field. And the extra point makes it a 21-3 lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Minnesota was able to come away with the victory, but it was not the type of dominant win we've seen from the Gophers over the years. A win, yes, but this one lacked style points. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still 2 quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. So much for the tough field position. One play, and you're already to the 35. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. They're working that left side. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st. The play action fake. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step in just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
Well, this defense has a 3-possession lead at this point. You're seeing how dominant they are up front. They have done such a good job recruiting D linemen, linebackers, guys that can blitz. They've got speed. They've found guys in the portal. They've recruited guys out of high school, and they are just eating right now.
And the Warhawks send out the punt unit. He'll try to really get into this one. Pulls it in at the 25. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. Back to throw. It's Croman Hope. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Well, will they dial up on second, and a long way to go. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Tackled immediately after the catch. And the Bulldogs line up, trying to move the sticks on third and short.
It's third down.
From the gun, wants to pass. Fires complete on the crosser. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. Mississippi State to the line with a fresh set of downs. Unloads to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.
Brought down at the 27-yard line. And that's a
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Trying to make magic on the scramble. Breaks into the open. Nice job by this junior quarterback to get it done on the ground. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. From the 14-yard line, it's first and 10. Gives it on the option. Got some room, headed to the goal line. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there.
Mississippi State.
Quarterback on the keeper. Grinding and churning close to the goal line, but he'll be stopped inches short. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on second and goal. They'll run it left, looking for the end zone here. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. On third and goal, they'll try to throw it in. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop. Now on fourth down, they'll send out the field goal unit. He'll boot it from the left side, and from this distance, that angle ought to be fairly easy. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And now the lead is extended a little further. That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. On the move from inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking for room, it's Etienne. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice gain. They've got it at the 37, it's first and 10. Rides the back and leaves it. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. The Warhawks now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Wants to throw, it's Royer. He's got him in the flat. And he didn't have a whole lot of operating room after the juke, not much room to run. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down.
Hold it.
They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. And the Warhawks will bring the punt team onto the field. Excellent coverage and tackle that time, and that's how the third quarter comes to a close. We've come to the end of the period, and Mississippi State is on top. They built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we got here. Just about ready to go in the fourth, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. They go back to work in the final period of this one. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Fakes to grab. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Pulls it in. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. The Bulldogs with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Off the play fake. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Looking to throw for it. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front 7 on defense, it's going to be tough.
Mississippi State will roll out the punt unit. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Time to take a shot. He's got it on the outside. Defense on skates that time. They finally drag him down at the 42.
This has been a frustrating day. They haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something.
Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone. They're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush. They win up front.
The Warhawks trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. He'll pull it on the read. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? And the Warhawks are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile. Looking to throw, it's Royer. Under fire. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. He caught it. They will score! Touchdown, ULM!
And I think in the pre-snap, I think both of these guys were on the same page. They had a look defensively that let them know we can pitch this thing way down the field. I'm going to go run under and make a big play for it.
Yeah, and when I'm the receiver, I'm like, I'm open, right? I'm going straight down the field. Throw me the football. I got the speed. I can beat this guy. You can tell they've done that so much in practice. They knew it was second nature, and they executed it perfectly.
And the extra point pulls them closer. It's 24-10. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish with a big play, a touchdown strike from the 46. Fielded in the end zone. It's Marshall. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Fires to the right. And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. And they will open this drive right on the doorstep with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. This defense was put in a difficult spot, but they've made it tough, and now the offense faces 3rd and goal. Finds his big tight end. And he'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about. Take it off the board and back it up. This penalty will wipe away the touchdown. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
Yeah, and the defensive lineman, 3rd and long situations, I'm rushing the quarterback. You bring in the nickel, a little bit more speed on the field, and the defensive line gets home and gets the sack on 3rd down.
A field goal does not top the list of most helpful things at this juncture. Unleashes one deep. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. 4th quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Mississippi State right back to the line. Let's take just a minute and talk about Mississippi State. Given the unrest surrounding this guy's future as the head coach, this would be a great way to get the season started.
Man, you want all the momentum you can get, and you want to quiet people down. You don't want it to get louder. The louder those murmurs talk about hot seat, and you have a tendency to lose your football team. It's a distraction. You have to talk about it all the time. So always nice, Palmer, to get off on the right foot.
You just got to be able to drown out the outside noise, right? Easier said than done. And with this win in week 1, they're going to silence the critics. But make no mistake, he's going to go into that locker room and say, everyone that's been talking trash about us all offseason, they're going to love us now. Don't pay any attention to that. All that matters is what's in this locker room. They've got to take that attitude forward.
He hurls one deep down the left side. This will be picked off, maybe just the turning point they needed. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
Well, there's no quitting this defense, I'll give them that. Obviously, they're trailing here late in the game. It seems like the opponent's going to win, but still, they've got guys out there playing the way they're coached to play. They're playing with outstanding effort, trying to make plays to claw their team back in the game.
Guys, we'll see what this Warhawk offense can get done this time. The defense made a play with that interception to set them up. Now to see if they can cash it in. And it's incomplete, but the penalty flag has fallen in the holding zone. Let's see what the call is.
Holding. Offense.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one. The Warhawks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Right back to the well. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. And the Warhawks need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on 3rd down. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Takes it the other way. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And I love this defense understanding situational football. You got the lead in the 4th quarter, getting your nickel packages. You know the pass is coming, and the execution was great.
Yeah, they thrive on takeaways, and they love to get into games late with the lead because one of the strengths of their entire team is their secondary, and you saw it there. In nickel, they're able to come away with the pick, and it's looking like they're going to be able to seal this game.
Here comes the Bulldog offense back onto the field. Their defense came up with a big stop now to see if they can turn it into points.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. show for that run. Gets the back moving. He ended up going backwards on the play, and they will not convert that third down. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And he's got it from 57. What a beauty. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. BYU has the lead right now, but this LaVell Edwards Stadium crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today.
And the coverage team able to make the tackle. Looking to throw, it's Royer. Rushes on him. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. The Warhawks want to move quickly.
And they got to protect their quarterback better up front. They got to give him a little bit more time to make some damage down the field. But look at this. Here they go. No huddle, back on the line, make the defense communicate. Maybe you can catch him sleeping.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. Backed up in their own end, maybe a quick hitter. The 2-minute timeout arrives, and we have certainly seen miracles in college football, and they will certainly need one here. And the Warhawks will send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. The fair catch is made, but they may back them up and see if they can get a return on the re-kick.
Holding. Receiving team.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Motion from the wideout. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down. 3rd and short now from their own 48. He'll do it himself. And the defense had his hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the first down. Wouldn't call it a shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. Special teams coming through as they pin him back. They'll mark it dead at the 10. As disappointing as this is, everything's still in front of this team. I mean, think back to 1983 Miami. Got blown out in the opener, but won the national championship.
You're absolutely right, Reese. Lots to play for here. And there's no doubt when you watch this team, they've got the talent to get it done. They got to execute better. They got to iron out some of these mistakes we saw here on the field today. But I think if this is a team, if they stay healthy throughout the course of the year, David, they've got a lot to play for this season.
Goodness gracious, I guess I'm the only one that caught the 1983 reference. I know you two guys were alive. I wasn't even alive yet. Good Lord, you guys are old. Like, this is a long time ago. Can you use a little better reference there, Reese Davis?
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.